Hi all, this is Yunus. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we are deploying WordPress blogging tool plus content management system onto an Amazon EC2 which is running Amazon Linux 2 image. In this hands-on exercise, we won't use code pipeline for triggering code deploy, but we will trigger it manually. This video includes both the initial deployment as well as a redeployment of your tool after you make some changes to the source code of your WordPress tool. I'll be creating another video where I'll use both code pipeline for CI/CD setup as well as code deploy for the same use case. Okay, let's begin. To launch WordPress onto an EC2, we need an EC2 as the first thing. So just click on launch instance and you can give the name as WordPress. We'll use this name while we are configuring code deploy later. Come down, select Amazon Linux, and instead of Linux 2023, let us go with Linux 2, second one. Come down, T2 micro is okay. Come down, key pair, if you don't have a key pair, create a new one, or if something is already existing, select that. And in security group, you need to open ports 22 and 80. So you can create a new one by selecting allow SSH traffic and allow HTTP traffic. And come down. Then in advanced details, you need to attach a role or instance profile to this particular EC2. So I have already created one. So I will show you how I created that after this EC2 role for code deploy. So this is mandatory. Only if this particular role is assigned to the EC2, it can run code deploy successfully. Come down, launch instance. Now in the meantime, let us go to IAM and find out more about that particular role. So go to roles. I have already created that role, EC2 role for code deploy. Okay. So I had created the role by clicking on create role. So let us see which is the policy. There is only one policy attached with this. You can see the policy name is Amazon EC2 role for AWS CodeDeploy. So I will mention all these points in my cheat sheet so it will be easy for you. I'm not showing how to create the role because in some of my other videos I have shown that. So I'm not showing that. So this EC2 is already running. We need to log it to this EC2 later and then do some setup. But for now, we are going to do the next part of our setup using Cloud Shell. So you can open Cloud Shell. Okay, so in this task, we need to download the source content. Basically the source code for WordPress package. We need to download it and get it ready for uploading into S3. So for that, what we can do is we can use wget to download WordPress source code from GitHub. As I said earlier, I will give you all these commands in my cheat sheet. Enter. So it is already downloaded. Just do ls and you can see master.zip here. Now let us unzip this so that it will retrieve all the included files. So there are multiple files as part of the package. So it is retrieving everything. It is done. Now we need to create a folder called temp WordPress and then we have to move all these contents there. Let us do that. mkdir -p temp WordPress and then we have to move all these files into that new folder. Yes. So we have moved everything into that particular folder. What you can do is you can just do ls temp WordPress and you can see all the contents are here. And WP admin, WP content, WP includes, etc. These are folders inside which we have multiple files. Now we can remove the contents from the WordPress temp by using these commands rm-rf temp WordPress _temp and rm-f master.zip. So we are removing everything from the home directory. So in the next step, we need to configure the source content or the deployment package. It includes not only the source code from WordPress, but also the scripts which need to be executed during the deployment process. So let's start with that process. We need to create a folder within temp word process to keep all the scripts. So you can do this mkdir -p temp WordPress scripts. Create a folder for scripts. So that is done. You can just do ls temp WordPress and you can see scripts here. Now we have to create scripts one by one. So let me do that. First thing is create install dependencies, and I'll show you the contents of that. Paste it. So this script will install PHP, and it will install HTTPD web server and MariaDB database server. Okay, so that is install dependencies. This will be executed at some stage in the deployment process. So the next one is start server. We have to start the MariaDB service, HTTPD service, and PHP. So let us create start server.sh, paste, and you can copy the content from cheat sheet, paste. Okay, so we have created two scripts. Now the third one is about stopping the server. It stops Apache and MySQL. So let me paste it. That is done. Now the next one is create testdb, and here is the code for that. So it creates database called test if it doesn't exist. Save, quit. Now we need another shell script for changing the permissions after copying all the WordPress source content into your web server. Yes, so that is also done. Now we have to give execute permission for each of the scripts. So let us do that with this command. That is also done. Now we need to add the appspec file. That is a configuration file for CodeDeploy. In that we will specify when to execute, at what lifecycle stage of the deployment you have to execute each of these scripts which we just now created. So let me create the appspec file under WordPress. Paste. I'm using nano editor here because while copy pasting that will be easier. Yes, so you can see that the files to be copied, all the files in WordPress will be copied into var www.html WordPress folder of the destination EC2 server or the target EC2 server. And before installation you have to install the dependencies using the script, and then you have to change the permissions for all the files. Then you have to start the servers and create the test database, and whenever you have to stop the application you have to run stop server. So now hit Control O, and the file name is appspec.yaml. Enter, Control X to exit. Okay, now all the scripts are ready. The next step is to create a zip file including all these scripts and the source code, and then upload that package into S3. So before we upload into S3 bucket, we can create an S3 bucket using this command. So here AWS S3 MB for make bucket and CodeDeploy demo bucket. You can add your name, first name or initials here, so that it will be unique, and the region you can select it as US East 1. So create the bucket. Yes, the bucket is created. Now we have to upload our contents. Before that, just go to /temp and ensure that you have your WordPress folder there, and go to WordPress, and you should have the scripts folder as well as appspec.yaml file here. ls, you have the appspec.yaml file here and scripts folder, and other files were created when we copied the source code for WordPress, so you don't need to worry about that. You have to ensure that appspec.yaml is here under WordPress and scripts folder is here. And you may also check if there are all the scripts. There are 5 scripts which we created, whether they are there or not. So all the scripts are also there. Now you have to go to WordPress before you proceed further. Just do pwd and ensure that you are in WordPress. Now you have to create the application for deployment. To create the application, you can issue this command, copy, paste, and the application name is WordPress app, but you can give your chosen name. So it has just created this application. So to see if this application is created or not, you can go to CodeDeploy. You have to go to CodeDeploy by typing CodeDeploy here, and if you come down and look at applications, you can see WordPress app is created. Okay, so the next step is we have to create a zip file by including all the contents under WordPress folder, and then upload that into S3 bucket, and then associate that with WordPress application. So how do we do that? You can use this command for that. So you can see AWS deploy push application name, whatever we just created, and the location is inside the bucket which we just now created, and you can issue this command. So after this, if you go to S3 bucket, you should be able to see WordPress.zip there. Okay, so now go to S3 and check if that file is uploaded. Go to your bucket CodeDeploy demo bucket Yunus, and you can see that WordPress app.zip is uploaded. That is good. Go back. In the next step, we need to install CodeDeploy agent in the EC2, the target EC2 which we have launched. In this step, we have to create a service role for CodeDeploy service, and this role will provide the permissions to CodeDeploy service to access other AWS services. So how do we do that? You have to go to IAM, Identity and Access Management, click on Create Role, and we are going to create a role for an AWS service. And which is that AWS service? CodeDeploy. Select that, come down, CodeDeploy for EC2. So you have to choose the first one, click on Next. And permission policies, automatically it is adding AWS CodeDeploy role. That's what we need. So click on Next. You can give a name such as CodeDeploy service role, and you can leave most of the other things as default. Create role. Okay, the role is created. So you can check CodeDeploy service role and just note down the ARN for that particular role. You can copy this ARN into a notepad. Okay, now you have to install CodeDeploy agent into your target EC2. So where is your target EC2? You can go to the EC2 console, select that, click on connect, go to SSH client and copy this connection string. And now open a command prompt or Windows PowerShell, or if you are using Mac OS, then you can go for terminal. And then you have to be in downloads folder where your key pair is there, and then issue this particular connection command. So I'm already in my target EC2. Okay, now you need to install CodeDeploy agent in this target EC2. Then only CodeDeploy can work on this. So how do we do that? First, you have to install Ruby. Before that, you can update yum repository. Paste. Now install Ruby, paste. Now download the CodeDeploy agent. Downloaded. You can just do ls and you can see the install. Basically, we have downloaded the script which will help us in installing CodeDeploy agent. Now we have to provide execute permission for this script, and now we have to run it. Okay, now it is done. Now check the status of CodeDeploy agent by issuing this command. Yes, it is active and running, so that is good. So we have installed CodeDeploy agent on our target EC2 instance. We have to create the deployment group and deployments. For that, we can issue this command. Here is the command. So AWS deploy, create deployment group. Application name, you have to use the application name which you have created earlier. Deployment group name, you can choose anything. Deployment configuration, one at a time. And then what is the tag name you have used for your EC2? I have used WordPress. If you have used something else, then you have to change that here. And this is the ARN of the service role which we just now created. I asked you to copy that and keep it. So if you haven't copied, you can go to IAM and you can choose that particular role, CodeDeploy service role, and copy the ARN from here. Okay, enter. Okay, deployment group is created. So if you want to check if the deployment group is created, just go to CodeDeploy, select your application, WordPress app, and select deployment groups. You can see that the deployment group is created. Now we have to deploy it. That is the next step, which is the most important step, right? So you can issue this particular command, and this is pretty straightforward. Deploy, create deployment. You have to give the application name, deployment configuration name, deployment group name, and the S3 location from where you have to download your bundle and the name of that. So just enter. Now you go to your code deploy and see what is happening with this deployment. Go there, click on deployments, and you will see something is in progress. So click on the deployment ID, come down, and here you will see view events. Click on view events. It should show you different steps. Application stop, that is the first one. Then download the bundle, and then before install it has to install a couple of application dependencies, etc. So that is happening. So overall it will take some 30 seconds. So let's wait. So this is done, 31 seconds. Now the actual installation is going to happen. After installation there was some activity that is also done. Application start. So now the WordPress blogging tool is installed on your EC2. Now how do I check that? Go to EC2 and copy your public IPv4 DNS. Go to a new window, and at the end just type WordPress. So you can see that WordPress blogging tool is already installed. Click on let's go, and here it is asking for database name. Enter database name as test, then username you give it as root, and then password you can leave it as blank. Database host can be localhost and table prefix can be WP. Click on submit. Run the installation. Okay, here you can give any values. This is fine, and the password it has decided for you, so I can use that, but just ensure that you copy it somewhere. Site title, I can just give my name, blog, any name you can give. Username, I'll give Yunus, and password it has created for you, so you just copy it. And email, anything is okay. Search engine visibility not required. Install WordPress. Okay, now I can log in. Username Yunus, and password I have to copy it. Remember me, login. So you can see that I have already logged into WordPress blogging tool. You can create new posts, all post, add new post. Hello world is already there. You can create new post, add new post. Let me close this. Title, code deploy successful. I'm just typing something. Successfully completed code deploy. Yeah, publish. View the post. Yeah, so basically I have installed WordPress blog tool onto my EC2. Now what if I want to make some changes to this tool? For example, now it is appearing WordPress 6.6. I want to change it to I love WordPress. Okay, so I want to make that change and redeploy it. How do I do that? Corresponding to this page, you can see it is in WP admin about.php. So let us edit that. Okay, so go to Cloud Shell, and using VI, I'm going to edit that particular file. Paste VI in WordPress WP admin about.php. Okay, enter. And here, wherever it says WordPress, here I'm going to change it to I love WordPress. That's all, nothing else. Okay, so I have made the change. Now I need to upload it into S3 bucket and then install it. So let me do that. Repetition of previous commands. Paste. So it will bundle it into a zip file and then upload it into S3 bucket. After that, I can deploy it. Yes, it is done. Now to deploy it, I can issue this particular command. So basically what should happen is, in this page, after that deployment happens, this text should change. So let us see if that is going to happen. Enter. Now since deployment is happening, let us go to CodeDeploy deployments. You can see in progress, so click on that, come down, click on view events, and you can see that it is in before install stage. So let's wait for some 15 seconds for this to complete. Yeah, it is complete. Now if I go to my blog page and refresh it, you can see I love WordPress. So this was a very simple change just to see how the redeployment works. Okay, so that's it about this particular hands-on exercise. So what we did was we downloaded the WordPress blogging tool and content management system. Along with that, we added a few scripts to enable our code deploy process, and then we uploaded it into an S3 bucket. Then from S3 bucket, using the CLI commands, we deployed it into our target EC2. Before that, the target EC2, we had our specific instance profile, which gives it permission to run the CodeDeploy agent. And then we also added another role for CodeDeploy service so that it can access other AWS services on your behalf. I hope you are able to execute this particular hands-on exercise. I'll be back with other useful videos, especially related to AWS DevOps. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Bye.